Hey guys, welcome to the fourth episode of the Three Marketer Show. Okay, basically this is where three guys, as you can see here, come together every week to discuss one topic about digital marketing. We actually wanted to go beyond Facebook advertising. However, because this is actually where we started, we were actually touch base about Facebook advertising, but we wanted to go beyond. We want to talk more about different methods of digital marketing. So this is actually kind of like a show where we want to come together and share with more people about what we have learned. So together with me, we have Andrew and Manfred. I'm your host. I'm Jason. Basically, this is three of us coming together. But what is really important here is I want you guys to actually kind of like participate. So if you have any questions based on the topic that we discuss, please feel free to type in the comment section. And basically, once we are done with the so-called whatever sharing that we have already prepared, we will actually go through the questions. Okay, so you can feel free to tag your friend because the topic today, let me bring up the topic today before I introduce my friends over there. So the topic today is talking about how do we choose the right Facebook advertising objective to start with. For those who have experienced advertising on Facebook, this is probably one of the, kind of like things that people find it confusing. So if you find this thing is something that you're not familiar with, then this is a show for you. But before that, right, I really want to introduce my friends over here. Now we have Andrew from Malaysia, we have Manfred from Singapore, and these two guys has got crazy experience in whatever they are doing. And without further ado, let's guys share with us your past life or whatever what what have you done? What is your background? Because this could be we could have fresh audiences coming in. This is the first time. This is the first time you watch this, right, guys? Make sure you click the subscribe or follow button to make sure that you will get notified whenever we go live. We will do this on a weekly basis. However, we are still adjusting. So at first we did it on Friday, then we changed it to Thursday. Now we are actually making it on Wednesday. I think Wednesday is permanent. Okay, I think at the moment Wednesday is permanent. Okay, now go one round. Andrew first. Can we go by Andrew first? Share with us what is your background?
Yeah.
And
I'm one of the crazy experimenter.
Okay.
So most of the time is when you go through, you read either blogs or you hear some latest news on marketing, and if it's within viable budget, I'll just try them out. So I think that's the only way that you actually learn from running ads. So you lose money from time to time, but that's how it so-called anchors you in and make sure that you actually know what you're doing. So I think that's the best way. So, but mostly I do B2B kind of advertising for the B2B market. So that's
Andrew is actually very strong in B2B, and not just B2B. A few things that I really want to actually bring it up for Andrew's side. Good in copywriting, good in strategizing a lot of things, very into detail. The way he does his thing, I really learn a lot from him. So this is really my mentors over here. But next we have Manfred. Manfred is another crazy guy. Come, Manfred, share with us what is your past life.
Yeah. Okay. Hi guys. I've been playing around with Facebook advertising for quite some time, and I did dropshipping before. I did driving Facebook traffic to Shopify store, but I spent a lot of time doing for app install. App install is one of the a lot of Facebook marketers don't spend so much time. I do spend a lot on. Recently, Facebook also announced automated app ads since 1st of September, and I tried it. Wow, very powerful.
Okay.
And it is equivalent to Google's universal ad campaign called UAC, which is the one I also tried. But there's some differences, and obviously the algorithm is different. And currently, my favorite is this Facebook AAA. I call it AAA, automated ads. Very powerful. Basically, the AI will take over most of the heavy lifting, and you just need to set certain stuff. And beside that, I also play. And the other one I play with is the App Store search ads. Just like when normally in iPhone App Store, you see, say example, you look for carousel, on top there will be a Shopee ad or Lazada ad. They're trying to, just like Google Ads itself, is under Apple, and the interface is still not so bad. So I spend a lot of time on mobile apps advertising. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is really back to the experience, or where you actually you have the opportunity to work with these mobile apps. To a lot of people, in fact, I even though for the past 10 years running ads for different companies, big and small, I think I only handled 4 companies that has this need to market a mobile app, because to be frank, not everybody runs a mobile app, you see. But however, this is what I mean. We already have several people who are watching. Now, how many of you actually watches? I mean, how many of you actually uses Facebook ads? And can you actually roughly tell me whether, which objective are you actually more into? So basically, like, what is your industry? Which objective that you're more into? So this is where, and then we want to actually look at whether is there any specific questions that you have regarding your objective? But let me quickly go through about the questions that we're going to cover today. In fact, we have quite a number of things. First thing first, we will have first question talking about if you're looking for online purchases. So which objective that we should be picking? And then the other one is when we talk about when we're actually getting leads. This is quite interesting for certain businesses. You see, this is what we always emphasize on. Not everybody needs to drive sales, or not everybody can drive sales to their website via Facebook advertising or digital advertising. However, lead generation becomes a very big portion of it. But when it comes to Facebook advertising, there are many methods. There are several angles that you can look into in terms of getting leads. So we will cover that in a bit. And then the other angle is when you are looking to get people to read your blog, then which objective should you be picking? Okay, because to be frank, to certain businesses, it's kind of like necessary to get people to read your blog as part of the nurturing process. I think that's part of the thing that we want to look into. So what you should be running. And then we have another question is if you want to run conversion campaign for traffic purposes, where this is actually a question that is being brought up. So I think it's good that we actually run some discussion over here. And the last one is we will have, if you want, purchases, what basically this
purchases is the first question.
Yeah, purchases is the first question. So let's go through from which one should go first? Purchases. Let's go through from the purchases first.
Yeah.
Right. I think purchases, very straightforward, is basically when it comes to Facebook ads objective, right? A lot of people would think that purchases will straight away to be conversion. But what do you think? What is your take when it comes to purchases? Manfred?
Actually, purchases, the first thing people will think is conversion. And conversion is the Facebook most popular campaign objective, as it is optimized to deliver you new leads or purchases. And conversion ads are aimed to increase sales, sign up, purchases, or other desired actions on your website. And honestly, Facebook auto optimization works really well. And most of the time, you want to use the conversion objective to optimize the event that matters you most. So for e-commerce to sell a product online, such as physical good or information via course, you want the conversion objective to optimize the purchase event where it's actually placed at your thank you page or your confirmation page. So whereas if you service a business that you use conversion objective for the lead event, which fires after someone has inquired your business, Facebook algorithm is very good at identifying people likely to align with your objective conversion event action that you want to optimize for the event action that matter most. Basically, what I believe is if you have done it before, they know, and they'll serve that to you again. Yeah. And one thing, just sidetrack, I noticed if you have reaction, if you saw an aircon advertisement, you'll see a series of aircon advertisements together. Seriously.
Yep.
If you reacted to one, they'll serve you all. So this is another way how Facebook try to, even though I think you have this reaction, then they will try to do. You have such a, I don't know, reaction. You have such a. What's the word for it?
Action. You're taking action. You're kind of like interested. Yeah. If Facebook finds you are interested in something, then basically this is how they will start showing you other advertisement. This is actually part of how Facebook learn through or whatever algorithm or whatever activities that you're doing. But in fact, when it comes to purchases, right? Like I totally agree with Manfred, where a lot of people immediately when it comes to purchases, they will go for conversion. But Manfred also brought up that it's a very important thing that we need to be very careful about conversion, because to a lot of people, to them, especially when I'm new, right? I mean, when I'm selling something through my own website, I'm very excited because I thought that the only conversion to me is purchase, as in complete transaction. That is the conversion that is in my head. But to Facebook, right? I really want to break this down. To Facebook, conversion can be anything, starting from clicking the link, going to the website, seeing the product, added something to cart, initiate checkout, and purchase. Correct. So this, you have to look at this as a funnel, because this is one of the main mistakes a lot of people immediately they go in. When the moment they immediately go for conversion, right, everything breaks. You know why? Facebook needs enough data to find out who are the people who are likely to do the same action. So to break it down, I think to help you understand, you need to have at least, as a layman term, if your website, if your e-commerce website do not have more than 25 complete transaction in the last 7 days, you don't go for that.
It used to be 50, right?
Used to be 50.
I haven't find your 25 yet, no.
It's 25. They said it's 25. Officially inside the blueprint, I think when you go and study, I think I studied in April and March. I'm not sure whether they changed it again or not, but that's what we learned now. So you need 25, but I still tell people, if you can go for bigger number, straight away go for 50, because that's how it works. When there are 25 people,
days,
correct, 7 days, not 7 weeks, 7 weeks gone. Basically, that's what we need. So if you don't have 25 purchases, I would strongly suggest, like, to break it down, if you have a brand new e-commerce website, okay, once you have installed your Facebook pixel and once you have set up all your events ready, right, the first tier of, the first action that you should go for, in fact, is actually landing page view. If you agree with me, because you need to get enough people to visit your site first. Correct. So because the first thing first, correct. The first thing first is the traffic. If you can't even bring in the traffic, right, how are you supposed to get all these transactions, like, purchase and add to cart? So I think, in my opinion, based on my experience, bring in traffic first, and then eventually you will start having transactions and all these kind of things. Then, eventually you'll be able to start optimizing for different so-called conversions. So I think that's
for Jason.
Sure.
I think Jason meant is conversion campaign, but driving traffic first. Correct?
No, I mean traffic. I use traffic.
Traffic campaign. Okay.
And go for.
I'm a bit different. I go straight for conversion campaign, but I have to admit, last time when I first started out, I thought put conversion campaign. Then I thought, wow, Facebook was gonna give me sales. Oh, I tell you, I failed miserably, because there's a lot of
people did do that.
Yeah, failed miserably.
A lot of people did that. Yeah, because based on my experience, yep. Go on, please.
I want to highlight is that this one is my favorite words, as in Jason here 1,001 times. Facebook algorithm is both a stupid tool and a smart tool at the same time. It's just like a calculator. You need to teach Facebook algorithm how you need to hold his hand and cross the road 50 times or 25 times within 7 days. Then voila! Oh, so this is who you want. How these people? Oh, I know already. Then I will keep. Then you just sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. But the problem is, regardless of 25 or 50, to get purchase for certain industry can be quite difficult. But nevertheless, I am slightly, I don't really quite agree with Jason. I prefer go straight to the point for purchases, although it's tough, because even if fallbacks, in, say, example, they drop into add to cart or the initial checkout, if the audience is thick enough, good enough, can do retargeting also. Because traffic.
Yeah. I'm not against it, but just to actually, to a lot of people,
we have different thinking. I'm not saying you're wrong also. Yeah, different people have different style of doing
definitely.
There's never a right or wrong. I mean, for me, I'm very impatient. So normally what I do is I will do the first campaign, will run conversion based on those landing checkout at the thank you page. But like my friend say, most of the time it's unlikely that you will get 50 sales in a week.
Yep.
So
depending on what you sell.
Depending on what you sell. Well, after 3 or 4 days, then you can go one level up and say, okay, fine, let's do the add to cart. Forget about the thank you page first. Then you optimize for add to cart. If the add to cart is still not generating, then you go one level up. Eventually, if it's really not that, then okay, let's go for landing page. Get people to the landing page first, and hopefully your sales letter or sales page itself will do the selling. That's one thing.
So
Another thing,
your approach is you scale, you go down from that. You go to the toughest first, and you slowly come back down.
I don't know what's the term they call upstream or downstream, but the
It's
action,
a little bit on that.
the action before the one that you wanted, then go to that level. So that's how you can.
But what if it doesn't work? Then you'll be burning money. What if you straight away go for purchase? Like for example, if you go for purchase, but you don't have enough purchase, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then you fall back, but eventually you already wasted probably like a few $100 over there already. Might as well, I would say, start from the very beginning, which is something more viable to optimize for.
Correct.
I mean, that's my thought.
Depending, because I normally use my threshold for 3 to 4 days as a reference point. Unless you spend like $1,000 a day, which is ain't gonna happen. You probably spend like $30-40 a day.
Start with the end in mind. I think start with end in mind. Then it doesn't work. Then you try to troubleshoot. And sometimes it's not the campaign issue. Sometimes it's your targeting or audience issue. Sometimes your ad is not enough. Ad is wrong. There's 1,001 thing can be wrong.
Yeah, true.
Maybe it's Singles Day. Then you go and run the same ads, go and compete with people.
Yeah.
And you're not really in a good shape. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I've read somewhere was, Facebook has standard conversions and custom conversions. And this particular blog, I can't remember the name. This basically they suggested that, and it seems to make sense for me, that if you do conversions, you should aim for standard conversions because Facebook would have a bigger database to refer to. But when you start doing custom conversions, so either that means you want to specifically click on that button on your web page or whatever it is, or you define your own conversions, then the learning will take longer because it's out of their category. So the idea is to tap into that massive AI database of Facebook. That's what I think. So it makes sense. So now most of the conversions I will use standard conversions. They have sufficient enough purchases, add to cart, and all those things. Don't be a smart Alec and try to do your custom conversions. I don't know. I mean, the audience out there may disagree with it, or maybe that's a better way. Do let us know.
So what do you think?
Custom conversion can use.
Okay. Basically, this is my experience about the custom conversion. Like, how many of you actually have tried custom conversion? Can we actually have can you type in one? I mean, I just want to quickly roughly gauge and see if there's anyone crazy enough to try that, because I would say custom conversion could be quite stranger to a lot of people. Okay, but back to the custom conversion, this is what I experienced lately, especially in the past few months. Custom conversions is haywire. It's haywire, and then a lot of things going very crazy with a pixel site. But I agree with Andrew on this side. Most of the time, let's try not to go crazy about things unless it's really necessary and specific. Custom conversion, who is very crazy about it? We have Manfred here. He showed me the custom conversion, which is like the whole damn journey over there, right? So I would suggest that we fall back to the custom, which is the standard event first, which is add to cart, purchase, initial checkout. Then when we have everything more stable, then, if there is specific needs, then only we go for that. But for those who are kind of like blur, right? We were talking about, today's topic is about how do we choose the right Facebook ads objective. That's why just now we were talking about how do we actually choose the one if you want purchase, if you're running an e-commerce website. So for those who are not familiar, I actually shared the screen, right? These are the objectives that you can choose from. Basically, if you're running advertisement on Facebook, you can choose from these 11 objectives. To a lot of people, this is already something that is very, overwhelming, mind-blowing, because it's kind of like they are not getting anywhere. They don't understand. You see, like another thing that people like to touch is brand awareness, because immediately they come in, it sounds very, wow, I think this is what I want. Because to a lot of people, it's branding first, then only I get sales.
Yep.
So I got stories because the moment we do our training, right, a lot of people this is one of them. Brand awareness is one of them, and conversion is one of them. But I think to sum it up on this portion, I think we have two routes to go into, right? I mean, Manfred was saying immediately go for the purchase and then let it learn. We force it to learn, and then we go through the painful process and let it learn it enough. One day it become good, right? Is that what you mean?
Go for the objective. Go for what you want. Go for what you want.
Go for what you want, right? Go for the purchase first, right? So this is you. Yeah. And then Andrew was saying the similar thing. He will go for purchase. A few days cannot, then we fall back. We go for initial checkout. If still cannot, then we fall back, add to cart. And then if still cannot, then we fall back to landing page view. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
Okay. And then my method, okay, this is what a disagreement. And my method is, it's new, we go for traffic first. And we go for landing page view. Okay. And then after that, when we have enough data, and then only we go for, the proper so-called conversion event that you have at least 25 fires in the last 7 days. So that's three angles over here. That's why this is what we call the Three Marketeer Show, right? Oh, by the way, if this is new to you, this is what we do on every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. So if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, remember to click the subscribe and follow button to make sure you'll be notified whenever we go live, right? And if you have any questions regarding Facebook advertising, you can actually post it to us, or digital marketing. In fact, we want to cover as much. And today's topic is about how do we choose the right Facebook ads objective. So let's round this up. This is actually, let's close this case already. I want to go for, the next topic over here. So let's go for the next topic. Now, this is something that I think we have some questions coming from the audiences where, okay, when it comes to leads, what should I pick? But before that, right, I want to bring up this question. Can we jump a bit on the questions part, or should we go through this part first?
Let's go with the flow. Let's go with the questions.
I have a question that I'm quite itch to bring it in.
Fire up.
Actually, this is from Charlie. Charlie was asking, she was trying to get a property. I mean, trying the property ads, and the lead ads doesn't work quite well. Bad leads, competitors, and each lead is costly and all this kind of thing. Now, and then after that, we have Alan coming in, was talking about, what's the cost per lead. And Charlie actually brought in and said that's the lowest, 25, highest heart attack. And then CY was asking, what is the heart attack? Then CY say heart attack is 300. Seriously? You did 300 before, CY? Are you sure?
Well, that's high.
That is really on the really, really super high side already, based on my experience. But back to the question. Okay. Now, I can offer you a few, because I think this is synchronized with the topic that we're having now, which is we want to talk about lead, right? So basically, Charlie, jump a little bit, a few things in order to, okay, I think it comes back to what we were supposed to discuss at this point of time. Lead form is not the only method to get leads. I think Andrew has got different, Andrew has got a lot of experience because he's he actually get a lot of lead gen campaign. So Manfred, you went off a little bit.
Sorry, there was an internet issue.
No problem.
Tonight in Singapore, there's a MRT breakdown now. The internet also down.
Wow.
Okay.
The day of breaking down.
A very adventurous day.
Okay, let's focus on Charlie.
Coming to the end. Yeah, let's come back to Charlie's question. Now, because now we are talking about lead, right? And Charlie brought up this question, so I think it's quite relevant for us to come in. Because when it comes to lead campaign, this is why I think. Lead campaign, there are multiple ways, not just lead gen. When it comes to lead campaign, you can actually do a few things. Like, for example, if you want to get leads, lead gen is one of them. Messenger is one of them. What else have we done, Andrew? WhatsApp is another thing. Yeah, website, WhatsApp. So, in my opinion, is this, especially lead form. This is what I think. Lead form is already reaching to a point of, I will call this kind of like saturation. Why? Because everybody probably submitted 5,462 leads before. So when it comes to that kind of situation, right? Welcome back. So when everybody has gone through a lot of lead gen, they kind of gone through the experience, they kind of learn this is what's going to happen, and they kind of stop being interested in submitting lead like that already. So this is one of the reasons in certain cases, lead gen is kind of like not really working. But what is your scenario over there? Is there anything that you can share? Is there any based on case study? But okay, you can actually respond to this question in a bit. So Charlie, to answer your question, if you have bad leads, competitor scams and all this kind of thing, right? I think a few things you want to consider doing here is you want to do some exclusion. Okay, like if you know that these are the competitors and all this kind of thing, you can actually do some exclusion to make sure that those who have submitted lead has to be pushed out, because this is one thing that a lot of people don't do. And second thing is, another thing you can consider doing, if it's bad leads, it's really bad, you can consider adding more questions to your lead form, because that's one of the way that we can increase the likelihood, the quality of leads. But of course, we don't want to add another 14 questions over there. I would suggest to maintain it within maybe 2 to 3 extra questions. So that will help you qualify your audience better. And then, yeah, so these are the two things that I have for you. However, yeah, cost per lead, if you're talking about $25, I don't think it's very expensive. I think it's acceptable. Okay.
Depending on, I mean, the rental of a property is Malaysia or Singapore? What, 3,000, 4,000?
Obviously, she was saying ringgit over here. I think it's Malaysia.
Ringgit? Okay, so Malaysia. So it's
Yeah.
Malaysia. So another angle is, I mean, just pulling out my back end is, why don't do Messenger? Because if it's competitor, chances are you will probably know the number.
This is exactly good
Right?
angle. I agree.
So,
Yes.
so that way, when you, instead of driving to a lead form, drive to Messenger. And
Another thing about driving, yeah.
So unless
another
the guy
thing about
has
driving to Messenger, sorry. The line issue.
We're still trying to figure out how to sync. So another angle, another thing is because unless the guy is so free that he is going to create multiple Facebook account and all those things, which is unlikely. So if you do Messenger, you probably know immediately whether the guy is from a competitor or somebody new.
And if it's competitor also, if I'm a competitor, I look at it, I click onto it, I see it's a Messenger, then I probably will stop already because I don't want you to know me. So that's one thing. I think, I agree with that.
Try Messenger and see. Or WhatsApp. Because it's all tagged to a phone number.
True. And we have another thing coming from Chiwai one by one. Today is quite a lot of questions. I like this.
Okay, let's go.
Chiwai was asking, lead jet form, we get volume, but volume then junk. Friction on the form though, question is volume drop. But yeah, I mean, exactly this is the thing. So in my opinion, right, I mean, let me give you a simple example. If your cost per lead went down to 10 ringgit, for example, and you get 100 leads, out of each 100 leads, you got 5 useful leads. So in my opinion, it's not cost per lead $10, It's cost per lead probably like 50 or, kind of thing, because you only have 5 actionable leads. However, if we go down to the higher quality or, then, with more friction, we got lesser leads, but we have higher quality. But if you break it down, if the cost is more justifiable, I think I will come from the angle. That's my thought. Yeah, that's basically. Yeah, Manfred.
Yes, Manfred.
Actually, don't be so obsessed with cost per lead. Most important, be more obsessed whether the lead can turn to sale. No, you just need one lead to sell the property or rent the property. If you just hit that one can find, can hit, can take action. Even it's 25 or maybe even 250.
But for Singapore, please, I'm not talking about the cost per lead, Manfred. What is your actionable lead ratio? Like, let's say 100 leads come in. How many percent are useful ones? How many percent are junk?
Depend on industry and.
Let's talk about it. Have you done?
It's roughly around 10 to 30%. No more than 30%. You want to hit beyond you want to hit beyond 30% is extremely difficult. So it's around there, 10 to 30%. And I noticed Charlie mentioned this thing. I'm interested to know Andrew's way of the automated ads. Are you referring to just now what I'm saying, the automated ads? That is more for the mobile ads. Mobile ads is not meant for lead gen. So Charlie, is it what are you referring to? It's not under Andrew, it's actually under me.
Wait, did we tag the name? Let me see. I forgot. I think the name is.
Let me try to type it out and let
you can actually answer in the comment maybe.
It's no, I can't answer directly in the comment. Can you just pull out from the private chat? This one is let Jason pull out. Charlie, can you see? Can you see inside the comment?
I'm pulling it out. I haven't typed it yet. Hang on. So automated
this thing, automated ads, it's actually from Facebook for driving app install or app sign up or app purchase, whatever. It's equivalent to Google's universal ad campaign. It's more for mobile apps. It's not meant for website. There has some AI behind it and do all the heavy lifting, so no need to guess so much. In fact, when I first use it, I'm very uncomfortable. Cannot target student only. You are restricted a lot of things. You can only put in the text, the creative. Only one ad only. By the way, only one ad. 50 images maximum. or videos. Only one ad set and only one ad. A lot of restrictive things, but never mind, do lor, put inside. Voila! Less than $1 install, less than $4
Cost.
sign up.
Yeah,
It's really
okay. Awesome.
the machine is damn powerful. But unfortunately, they did not introduce, even for Google, they haven't even introduced it. Lead gen or conversion or even messenger. Maybe in the future they will lah. So Charlie, hope I answered the question. Is the automated apps is more for mobile apps.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Manfred. I mean, basically, I think Chiwai's question also kind of like wrap what we are supposed to discuss on this topic, which is when it comes to lead gen, right? Like we talk about a few methods, which is, other than lead gen form, then we have the messenger, which is messenger in a way can really help you eliminate your so-called competitors, because the moment they come and see, oh, messenger, because it's you can't fake someone else, unless like what Andrew said, you go and create multiple accounts, which is unlikely. And then we have this website, which is you drive people to a landing page view.
You forgot about WhatsApp. WhatsApp also part of messenger.
Yes, WhatsApp another thing. So I would suggest, how do we actually do better? In fact, based on my experience, if you can actually do two-tier campaign, like using my two-step funnel, it actually kind of help you get better leads, because this is what I think. Let's say, for example, right, if you use the lead gen form as a tier 1, and then you'll get a lot of people open the form, and then eventually, not many people will submit. So you will still get some leads over there. However, on the second tier campaign, when you're able to retarget these people who open form and offer them another option, whether you bring them to website, you bring them to messenger and all that, right? You can actually, I can actually quite assure that you will get better leads at a lower cost, because this is what we just kind of based on our experiences is actually kind of like the what do we call, the conclusion that we get. There are really certain people who doesn't like lead form. So when they don't like lead form, if you offer them another option to talk to you, they will. So in order to optimize the whole thing, you probably should consider using different objective, different method for your multiple tier campaign. So that's my take when it comes to lead gen.
Yeah,
please.
Okay, Jason, I mentioned the four of them as in lead gen, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and website conversion. This is how I normally do it. If the client has a website and can edit the website, that's the best. I will go for website conversion to do lead gen, to collect leads. Because sometimes the Facebook ad, if the client has a website and the website you can edit, I will use website conversion as a Facebook objective to collect lead gen. Okay, because sometimes in the Facebook ad, you cannot put too many videos, testimonial, FAQ, a lot of things we can't do on the Facebook ads itself. So that's why we will do website conversion. But sometimes, as in the previous episode also, if you have difficulty understanding this industry, you're very new, hence we will actually talk to the prospect and get more information and maybe even perfect your copy. That's why your WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. But Facebook Messenger, I think Jason has shared before, is also very good for retargeting also. There's a detail you share.
What was that? Messenger lead form, messenger lead gen method. Yeah. Everything must go into retarget lah.
You shared that before, but I personally haven't tried that before. Lead gen form is good because lead gen form auto-populates, but don't make it too frictionless, because really a lot of junk will come in, and a lot of time, a lot of people say, hey, sorry, I never called, because the timing is very important. In fact, if people message you or people, when you do lead gen, when people send it to you, trigger quick, get your email, send it to your phone, you hear the sound, then quickly go and reply already. Your client have to reply, or you have to reply instantaneously, because the more you delay, the less. And if you can't really respond, so just set it to lifetime budget and set the timing. You can't do it daily. Daily can't really set time, so your lifetime budget. And if your client don't want to work on weekend, then too bad. Then you book Monday to Friday, office hour, then you run the ads. But I will try daily for 1 week and see where's the response by the time. If really most of the lead came in during office hour, then so be it lah. Daily budget, schedule, lifetime budget, then you schedule to office hour, example office hour, then your client can respond immediately.
True.
Every approach has its pros and cons.
Yep, true. I would suggest, in order to actually eliminate the problem, right? In fact, according to Facebook, this is actually what I learned about a year plus ago. Okay, Facebook says a lead best contacted within 4 hours, but I think that's really crap lah. To a lot of people, it's quite impossible. However, it's still possible because some of my clients actually did that, because first thing first, we use automation. We don't depend on downloading leads anymore. So you can use either Zapier or Integromat to automate the whole thing come into your email. So when it's on your email, right? In fact, inside Zapier, you can even set a link where you can automatically put the lead's phone number into the WhatsApp reply. You click the bloody button, right? Then you can already send a message to the link. We actually did that. The API, the WhatsApp link, you can actually set it to auto-populate the lead's phone number into it. And when you receive the email, you click, you immediately send an WhatsApp to them. So that can actually reduce the friction. So
and I want to
best
add,
attended.
do watch Jason's YouTube video on the part where the Integromat. I really like that episode. I'm not aware about that. He actually taught me this. And use the Integromat, it's free some more. Make sure it sends an email to your handphone, and make sure your handphone or whatever work phone, turn it to sound. So once you hear that sound, you take action. That's perfect.
That's a good one.
You must. I use it last time to handle the server in my previous life.
Because lead is really important. The instancy is really important. The moment you go more than 12 hours, the moment you call them, they'll be like, really? Did I do that? I sue you. It happens all the time. So these people are that forgetful online, you see. That's the problem. Yeah. So I think that's a very good one, talking about lead. But let me bring up this from TY. So so can I say through the second tier, we offer audience that didn't go through? Yes, that's correct. You offer them another option. Okay, you offer them another option to talk to you, because eventually, right, it's not about the lead form that we want to get people to sign up. Don't be so obsessed of the way of people giving you their information. What you ultimately want is to get these people to willingly give you their information. So try whatever means possible, you see. So that's really to sum up. Okay, thank you so much, TY, Charlie. I really like the keep those questions coming.
Touch on TY's thing. Just add some more. And when you do retargeting, as in people who open the lead gen form but never submit, people who visited website for website conversion who never submit, or people who talk to you before in Messenger but never give you the contact, you also all can retarget. But there's one thing both Jason and I disagreed on, is that when it comes to retargeting, the campaign objective, Jason, can you share with us what is your campaign objective for retargeting your tier 2?
Tier 2, actually, I will always, like, if you're talking about what? You're talking about lead gen. Lead gen, immediately I will go for another lead gen method.
Say example, conversion is tier 1, then your tier 2?
If website conversion is tier 1, tier 2, I'll go for either messenger or lead gen, alternative way. That's what I want.
Give them the different way to communicate with you.
Okay, Andrew, tier 1 is conversion, tier 2, what you pick? Tier 2, what you pick?
Tier 2, okay, my approach, but this B2B. But what I do is, normally when I run lead, is not to just contact. I basically run the lead gen for them to download something. So it could be a white paper. Could be a guide or infographics. So that way it helps me filter out those who actually download, would have some form of interest because it's technical. And especially when it relates to stuff like cybersecurity and other things. So I use that as a form to generate leads. So when the moment they download,
tier 1 conversion for people who download the thing, then your tier 2, what you pick?
No, tier 1 is lead. Tier 1 is lead gen.
Tier 1 is lead gen. Tier 2?
Tier 1. Then tier 2, either I do retargeting, or sometimes, most of the time, I seldom do retargeting. I just get the sales guys to call them already immediately. See, the thing is, unless sometimes I get the volume is really, really low. Then I will do tier 2. I will do traffic. I will redirect them to the website, which I have more details.
Now, Manfred,
So
you
that-
want to do your
okay,
kung fu already? You want to do your argument? Come. No.
Okay, my argument, you see, traffic conversion, and I think lead gen also, an algorithm behind it
Of
to
course.
find the best person, because we are all bucket, as I always like to say, Facebook and Google knows you better than you know yourself. They'll consider Jason will always website conversion, then Andrew always traffic. So you are sort of ranked. But when come to tier 2, I believe you should use reach. Reach is really no algorithm. But reach, when you target the audience, is hot audience. So you have contacted. So you reach out, you really reach all of them. Then you set the frequency. And our friend Chiwai asking if my tier 1 is lead gen, then your tier 2 is what?
What are you selling in the first place?
Chiwai, what are you selling in the first place? I can share with us.
Property lah. I think you were talking about lead gen, right? I think it's property. Yeah, let's talk about lead gen. Probably lead gen, we have alternative.
Or can you share with us?
Yeah. So I'll probably go by,
Insurance,
if it's me, I would, yeah.
Jason, what will you go for?
Alternative method to get lead. That's my answer.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alternative method to get lead. If I don't get lead in the first
I
place,
say
it will never
property.
be.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
then
property.
Messenger and WhatsApp. Or Messenger or WhatsApp.
I would go for
So,
Messenger
yeah.
first. That's me lah.
Yep. It's because it's property kind of personal,
Yeah.
So Messenger or WhatsApp. I mean, you're not going to waste your time creating a landing page for property.
If you talk about property, I like Jason's one argument, which I really like it. I also noticed this same problem with a lot of property ads. They like to show interior. The first start, you show interior.
Yeah.
I always thought it's hotel, no. And then it's none of my business. I'm not interested in hotel. Actually, you should talk about all the nearby MRT, got supermarket, got good school. In Singapore, it's all very cramped. So all the plus point outside, or the facade, or whatever, or the future development, then people will catch attention. I think this is outside of the campaign objective already. But your tier 1, you should mention this. Then, if you want to find out more information, maybe you can do lead gen. Maybe you can do messenger. I prefer normally let the machine do all the siphoning first. If you touch, because a lot of people like to open the form but don't submit, then I can do retargeting. Then I'll do because messenger takes a lot of time. So then you can talk. My client can talk to you.
Messenger, you can do lead gen, man. I'm not asking you to do messenger conversation. No, messenger lead gen.
Messenger then lead gen.
Messenger lead gen. There is a way for you to get leads. It's a
Messenger,
lead form.
you can
Similar
do
to lead form one. I
do
will do
automated
that.
response.
Correct. Immediately you get a phone number. You can even automate it into your through Zapier. Integromat, I don't think they can. So this is the thing.
Zapier.
Yeah. So Zapier it is. But anyway, good one. Thanks, Chiwai. But we're running a bit late. But let's go to the next question over here.
We've got
if you want to really can stay.
Are you all enjoying this? If you are enjoying this, give us a yes. I want to see how many people I can't see on my end.
Let me see a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Basically,
enjoy it. And do like and share.
So it's because to us, right, to be frank, sometimes you get too technical when we're actually discussing at the backstage. We will are we actually getting too technical? If you think this is really something that you like to see and you're enjoying this session so far, please give us a like. I think send some love to Andrew and Manfred over here. Basically, I want to actually straighten out Charlie. Charlie, the guy in blue is Andrew. The guy in yellow is Manfred. So these are actually so
thanks, Chiwai.
And Manfred, Chiwai, thank you. So,
what happened to? I thought we had a name on the.
I don't know.
I
put the name. I put the name. But
last week we had names. Last week we had names.
Yellow. So I have no idea why. So I have no idea why all these things is actually going away. Yeah. So okay, now I think really we need to go to this third question.
Yes.
To be frank, why would you even want to drive people to read your blog in the first place? I think some people may ask this question. Why would you want to get people to read your blog? I thought everything should go very straight.
B2B, actually, this is very important.
Yes.
Even for digital marketing industry, even for Jason, also very important. Because, as I always like to say, show, don't tell. You show them. You show them that you are really knowledgeable in this thing. That's why you need to read the blog. You need to do nurturing. So driving people to traffic. One of my
Your website,
favorite
to your blog, you mean?
one of the influencers that I always follow is John Loomer. I always call him the godfather of Facebook, my Sifu.
I follow him also.
Yeah. So
Sifu also.
he really drive traffic to the blog, then do Facebook ads, and actually then he tried to get, he do lead gen in the middle of funnel. He wanted email, then he let email to do the heavy lifting. He's using Infusionsoft. So you got time to read this guy, and both Jason and myself agreed that his blog is better than his lesson.
His lesson is kind of dry.
Lesson is a lot of slides, and one thing I don't really like about him is he don't make a stand. He don't make a stand. He don't say, "Oh, this
disclaimer,
is
John."
Yeah.
No, wait, before you
go on. I still love him.
Disclaimer, John, if you are watching this, right, that guy, he doesn't represent what we say over here.
But his blog post is really very good. You got time to read his blog post. I learned a lot from his blog post. A lot of things, a lot of minor details. He really go very. He's my kind of guy. He's a detailed person.
He is. But I agree. I learned a lot from John. But the thing here is, like I say, not everybody wants to actually go that deep. Like we have people like CY, yes, they want to get very technical. But when a person who is really new to Facebook advertising, when it comes to John's case, right, John could be a little bit too deep, but he is very detailed. I like the way he really dive all the way to do all his experiments. Actually saves up my lives as well. A lot of times I don't even have time to go through all these experiments, to be frank. So I agree. John Loomer is somebody that you must follow if you're serious about Facebook advertising. So other than Jason Gan, right, you follow John Loomer. But I think it's different method, like me, I prefer talking. So I do a lot of YouTube videos and all this kind of thing. But eventually I agree with Manfred lah. But if you want to get people to read your blog, I think this also applicable to industries like, for example, something that you need to establish authority. Like for example, I help my friend who is actually an investment advisor or portfolio manager actually, grow his portfolio through his blog. So it actually works. I think basically, if you want to get people to read your blog, what would you choose, Manfred?
Traffic. And can I just share one more thing? I noticed in Singapore, there's this website. I see whether I can find it. It's called Dr. Cross Dentist. I was quite surprised because in Singapore, I think in Malaysia the same thing. You cannot advertise for doctors and dentists. So what these people do is they write article. They say certain things. Then the people they establish themselves as the subject matter expert. I see whether I can share this. Become our.
Bring it in.
Wow. Hold on, let me try.
Actually, makes sense. Makes sense. The whole idea here is
take a look at this website. So this guy got a lot of articles. It's owned by someone in Singapore. I don't really know the person. This guy also started to do.
So he's either a doctor or dentist.
Yeah. So they try to be established. So these people drive traffic. They can use Facebook. They are more on SEO lah. Okay.
Right.
So doctors and dentists cannot really advertise. This is one website. The other one, I can't remember off my head. It's also about parents. Then all the parents will go there. Then once you visited the website, the Facebook pixel capture you already. You can do retargeting.
This is a portal, isn't it? This is so-called a marketplace for listing for doctors and dentists.
For doctors to write their articles, I think they need to pay for the articles. It's another way of advertising.
So right, indirect way of doing it.
So it's also sort of like a blog like that, but it's shared by a lot of people.
That's pretty cool.
So example, if I have certain illnesses I wanted to find, I will lead all myself to this website that I read. That I believe that Dr. ABC is actually very established in certain area, and I want to find him for treatment. So it's another form of advertising.
Good.
True.
That's
where I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
But-
we
but
agree
this
that
can't be
traffic
do-
is traffic objective is
Yeah.
the way to go for blog.
Definitely. Traffic. And then you go for, landing page view. Definitely has to be landing page view because you don't want to go for link click because eventually link click is still very pre-click, based on my statistics, right? Actually 30%, up 30 to 50% of the click actually drop. They never end up become your landing page view. So you want to go for the landing page view, then you have a clearer data about what you're actually getting.
Just
Agreed.
to
Yeah.
add some more things, you may notice when you run this, the placement for audience network may be driving you cheap clicks, but poor quality audience. So this one you have to take note. And why does this happen? Because Facebook only care for volume and cost without any care for quality. That's happened time and time again. So as what Jason had mentioned, landing page view is very important. And if you optimize for landing page view, they will get the most landing page view at the lowest cost. But they won't care whether it's 3-second view or 3-hour view. Facebook don't care.
True.
So to remedy this flaw in the algorithm, you can actually do pixel event for your website and set those timer. Okay, I don't want to go too much.
There you go. There you go.
Let's just give you an idea. 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 120 seconds, 150, 180. And this is for the and then you create custom conversion on this custom events. Then you can do wonders with it. This one is very famous by this, I think it's a Dutch guy his tool is called Connect.io, which I don't really like, but he created a lot of events. But you must know how to use this event to do your marketing. Because from there, you know that if this person read until 180 seconds means it's very good already, compared to someone who reads 30 seconds. So it's different bucket of people.
The guy's name is Wilco the Cry.
Yeah.
Correct.
Krij. Krij. Yeah.
Connect.io is company. I keep receiving his advertisement.
Yep.
Correct. But yeah, I think eventually back to the very beginning where we talk about the custom conversion and custom events and all this kind of thing, right? You got to be really careful because the more you create, the more you get lost. Because the same thing happens to your custom conversion one. When you have 400 custom conversions, then you'll be looking at it and you don't even know which one to use already. So I'll say, name it properly also, you're pening lah. Sometimes you will double create lah, and then when you want to actually go and straighten it out, you're not sure whether this is being used for ad or not, and all this kind of thing. So, you sometimes you probably want to. I mean, of course, we need to do a certain level of experimentation, but I always
simplify
say
things, right? I like it. I like things simple.
Correct. That's what I think lah. So I think eventually reading blog is one of the very important thing if you're doing some businesses that requires a bit of nurturing. So get for traffic. I think that's what we agree on. Now, this is another question. This is an add-on one. Can we run conversion campaign for traffic purposes? I think
Manfred,
that's my question and I answer.
Yeah. I personally tried that. Okay, I think let me explain this question a little bit. This is what I understand from Manfred. You are running conversion, which is you go for page view or either event, whatever event that you want to name it, whether you want to create a specific conversion for it. So you want to optimize a conversion for that particular thing, which is essentially it's a landing page view.
Let's say
I didn't
purchase. Let's say we aim for purchase.
But it's not purchase.
You wanted people to purchase, reach the thank you page or confirmation page.
But that is conversion already. That is conversion already.
The objective here, what you are trying to achieve is to get traffic.
Okay, this is
用牛刀去杀鸡 overdoing it.
Actually, based on my recent experiment, now I understand your question correctly. Meaning that you're trying to get purchase.
No, you trying to. The objective is you said as purchase, but the reason you are doing it, you just want to get people to come in to the website.
Okay, I have a different answer over here. Recently, based on my experiment, my answer is you should try. You should try. You know why? I go for purchase. Now I'm actually running, let's say when I run for my purchase for my either one of my courses that I'm actually running right now. When I run for purchase, right, when I have enough event, the key here is you must have enough event. I have enough event. And then when I have enough event, Facebook will get me good number, which they will eventually turn into purchase. And I go check on my cost per click. Lower than my normal cost per click when I'm using traffic objective.
Yeah.
Okay, I said something also. Recently, the AAA automated ads from Facebook
Yeah.
they have
Okay.
three options. There are three options. One is install. One is your custom event, maybe sign up. One is install and sign up. For some reason, the second one I cannot set up properly. Okay, so I tried the first one. Okay, they have a base price. Then I go for install and sign up, which I aim for the sign up. But I'm surprised the install is even cheaper. So sometimes you set your goal. That's why you come back to I do it myself. We set the goal very high. You aim for the star, then you fall for the moon.
You am, yeah, okay. I get what you
So
mean
you
here.
fall short, but nevertheless, when you fall short, you realize, hey, the cost per CPM is very low, no. And normally we charge by impression. So this is something I realized. I think Jason also realized about this. So this is something, this golden nugget for today. Hope everybody will enjoy it. I'm really happy when I see, wow, I actually wanted to make it difficult for Facebook. I want to tekan him. End up, the result even better. Happy. Very happy.
Good. Okay.
Manfred is a
I
happy
think,
camper today, man.
yeah, man.
Say
Although
again?
his MRT
He's-
down, but he still
He
has
is
MRT
animated,
down.
man. Today he's on fire.
Yeah,
man.
internet down, gonna kick out. Then our names don't come out.
Yeah.
By the
Never
way,
mind,
yellow
we'll
shirt
plug
is
on.
Manfred, the blue shirt is Andrew. By the way, let me actually do a little bit, and I'm Jason. Now, Manfred, get ready for your, the website of the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the
please
new
use
feature.
back that's the new feature. Use back the screen that you're sharing and go to the page. But while on my end, right, let me actually do a quick wrap up about what we have discussed today. Okay, basically, let me go through the questions again. First thing first, if you want to go for purchase, I'm doing a wrap up while Manfred preparing for his wow.
Yep.
Now, if you're going for purchase, you have to make sure that you're actually going for the right event that has at least 25 fires in the last 7 days. That is what Facebook is telling us to do. So it may not be the purchase, which is complete transaction that you're looking at. You should look for either, either what we call the initial checkout and something like that. However, today we have three different approaches. Manfred will go all the way to purchase. Okay, and then Andrew will go for purchase. If cannot, fall back, initial checkout. If cannot, fall back, then add to cart until you find a comfortable one. My method, if you're new, we start with traffic, optimize for landing page view, wait until everything is more stable, then you go for your whatever ultimate thing that you want to go for, which is the purchase. So that's the three angle, where we have three opinions today. So that's the first thing. So if you want to go for lead, we have four methods, remember. First is lead form. Second, messenger. Third, landing page, where you get the website sign up. And the fourth one, we have WhatsApp. In fact, what we agreed on is ultimately we shouldn't pay too much attention on the method of getting the lead. If lead gen is not getting it, we go for the alternative, which is there are so many out of it. So ultimately, we should focus on the end goal, which is what we want. We want lead. I don't care how I get the bloody lead, right? I want lead. So what we have here is we can actually give some offer, like for example, this one we all agree. If we can't get lead from lead gen, you retarget those people who open the form, okay? Then you go for something else. You offer them something else like messenger, or you get them to submit a website form or something like that. So that's what we agree on. We have multiple, objective mixing up for your tier 1 and tier 2 using the two-step funnel framework. So that's that thing. Alternatively, then you can get people to read your blog, where we talk about read blog. This one, we all agreed that we will use traffic. So this works really well if you need, let's say if your industry or your profession requires a bit of nurturing, and then you can't really get advertised for your service like doctor or dentist in Singapore. So getting people to read your blog is a very good way to introduce yourself to the people who are in need. So I totally agree with that thing. So, and then after that, we wrap it up, the last one, right, which is, can we run conversion campaign for traffic purpose, which is, yes, based on Manfred's case and my case, I think we both agree that you have to test. But of course, I'm not saying that this is ultimately going to happen the same to you. Remember, whatever we share today is based on, whatever we share here are actually based on our personal experience. You learn something, you have to go and apply. And then when you apply, if something is not right, then we tweak it. That's the whole thing. That's why we have two crazy experimenter over here, Andrew and Manfred. And I myself, it's my job to do all these experiments. So basically, that's probably what we actually have discussed today. Anything to add on? But Manfred, what is your website of the week?
Before I start the website of the week, I just want to add one more question to both of you. and to the audience here, you have seen
Okay.
so many campaign objectives. Which two that you think are totally useless? Useless. After the the website of the week, then I share my opinion on the two websites. It will be shocking to you. Okay, so let's go to the website of the week. Okay, we will be talking about the Wayback Machine. Okay, Jason will bring the screen up. Then he
share the
will
screen.
also pass you the URL for this one. Can you all see the?
No, have you shared the screen?
I share the screen already. Can you see? Sorry. This one they break away. Give me a minute,
Yeah.
Bring it up. Okay, can you see the screen?
Wait, I need to bring it back. Okay. Here you go.
Okay, this one I use one of the company called Great Eastern Life. I think Malaysia also know. www.greateasternlife.com. You notice 1999 it exists already. There's occurrence in 2005. Since 2011 onwards, a lot of changes. So you can see all this occurrence. Because this one takes time to share, so I open up. Let me stop this one. Jason, can you bring up the other screen to share with
I
them?
only have one screen.
Then I want screen. Okay, then let me try to share again. Give us a minute now because this one takes time to load. So I will.
Oh, the
I
Wayback
reload.
Machine URL is called archive.org. I thought last
Yeah.
time you used to call Wayback Machine.
Last time.
Oh, no wonder. Okay. No wonder I couldn't find it. Because I was typing looking for Wayback Machine.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's a project by Archive.
I see.
So
okay,
if you want to
understood.
see Great Eastern Live website in 2011, we will load up already. This is 2011. And if you're curious what will happen if I go and click one of the languages and start to load the thing.
Does it work? Does it
No, of course it doesn't work.
Does it work?
Doesn't load, you see? Ta-da! But at least it's Chinese.
Nice photo. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so I close this one. So you know that in 2011, this is the website. Okay, let me show you.
That was the design those days.
In 2011. One more. I'm quite excited about this one. Okay.
You know what I use this Wayback Machine for? Basically, I use the Wayback Machine to actually go back to, sometimes when I change my old website, right? I actually want to see what I did back then, and then I bring back the Wayback Machine.
For me, is to check how long did the website actually exist. Okay, this is 2014. And amazing part is actually you still can see how it works because they capture the whole thing. So quite fun. I find very interesting. You see the history is all down here. So we are here in 2014, July 2014. I see my mouse over here. Okay, the yellow color one. So this is Great Eastern in 2014. Okay, to my friends who are working in Great Eastern Life, this is our memories. Okay, so this is the archive.org. Okay, the website of the week, the wow moment. Okay, that's all for this. Okay, we come back to our question.
So the moral of the story is this, guys. Be careful of whatever you post on the net because it gets archived and you can one day come back and bite you in the ass.
Everything can
your Facebook,
in fact our
social media
YouTube video also, or Facebook Live
correct.
also.
Yep.
Okay, so come back to our final last question for the night. Okay, guys.
So what's your take?
What is the two Facebook objectives that you think is totally useless? Nobody want to share.
Nobody. So what
Andrew,
is yours?
you want to share? What do you think?
Brand awareness.
Brand awareness is more for bigger brands, but I still think it's very useless, even though you're a bigger brand, because they got survey question, then your brand recall. But that's one way to burn the budget. But to me, as a small time Facebook marketing, I still think it's very useless. Okay, Jason, what do you think? The other one is useless.
I think brand awareness is not to say useless, but you actually have to use
not
it the right way.
For our use,
not appropriate for most industries,
Yep.
Okay, and nothing is useless. Oh, the other one is of course the location.
Location useful.
The location, the store visit, store visit, not useful in Malaysia. I have fact.
I never used it before. Okay, I tell you, you don't be shocked. As a social proving guy, I think engagement campaign is useless.
Social proving.
Okay. In the past, maybe it's useful, but now, because now things has changed so much, if your thing is good, when you run purchase, you run conversion campaign, the likes will all come in, unless you want to artificially create a thing. So I also use very little of the engagement campaign these days, unless you really need. So you're shocked, right? For a social proofing guy, you say engagement campaign is useless.
What is the other one?
The other one is brand awareness. Brand awareness.
Andrew,
so
what
guys,
is the other one that you think is useless?
Guys, our audience, do you agree or not? Brand awareness and brand awareness.
Brand awareness.
Brand
I think
awareness
engagement we still have its use. But
so what about the other one? The other one? After brand awareness, what is the other one that you think is useless?
Engagement.
Andrew?
No.
Engagement also?
No lah.
Engagement.
I don't have a second one. I don't have a second one. I've never tried the store visits before.
I can talk about the store visit because this falls back to the habit. To be frank, when was the last time you really, let's say, you really drive somewhere and suddenly you see the advertisement and you have the urge to go to that place? Because I'm not sure about Singapore. For Malaysia's case, right? Most of the time, right, we plan our schedule ahead. When we want to go there, we go and go there. It's very difficult for us to just change our course just because we actually saw something.
Yeah.
Andrew only said brand awareness. He don't have a second one.
Yeah, Andrew doesn't have a second one. But I do have a second one, which is the traffic. I actually tried it. I have solid number. Yes. The store traffic. The store visit.
Traffic. Right.
Store visit. I have solid number because I run this campaign before. Yeah. By the way, before we end this,
engagement can work can use. So Charlie, engagement can still use, but because now the algorithm is so good, if you're doing your job correctly, the engagement will come in. Unless you really want a lot of engagement for your ad. I'm saying ad. So other than that, really not really useful. What you turn?
He say you want to go somewhere, then he asked me to U-turn. He say no way. Okay. Same thing actually. Agree on. I mean, it doesn't happen. But by the way, we have this from Charlie. Charlie was saying dropship sellers still uses engagement a lot. I think you're referring to those dropship sellers locally. International dropship sellers don't go for that. International dropship sellers go for traffic. In our 6 DCs and all that, we have a lot of dropshippers. In fact, we have Philippines, we have Singapore, we have Malaysia. Dropshippers always go for traffic. Those micro sellers, maybe smaller ones because this is how they work. They go by PM, so they were actually being taught in that way, being trained in that way. So this is how they do it because they don't have a website. They are micro sellers, so they depend heavily on these PMs to get conversion. Of course, it's actually a very difficult route for them because nowadays we all know these PMs. I think you got 1%. You should be very happy already. But to be frank,
just like lead gen.
I mean, worse than that. I trust. I mean, I believe it's worse than that because all these PM are not genuine at all.
Guys, I share one more website. This is called Pixel Me. This beyond my quota today. Pixel Me. Okay,
hey, next week you got things to share or not?
This one actually. Say example, you want to drive traffic to this Shopee or Lazada, you just put this is behaving like a Google shortener. So this Google shortener actually is a Facebook pixel also. Personally, I haven't used this. I read about this thing, but need to pay . So you can try this out. Pixel Me. So Andrew, Jason can pass the link inside the comment section.
You have the link over here already, right? Pixel Me.
Pixel Me, you can find out this website. I haven't really tried. This one need to pay one. So basically, I say again, it's like a Google shortener, as in the URL shortener. But once you click this thing, it actually has a Facebook pixel to tap on.
This is technically, I think Manfred, you should understand this. This is technically a springboard website. Yeah, it's technically a springboard, which is it load that site first. That's why they can actually fire the Facebook pixel
correct.
To give you the data before they send it over. This kind of thing for certain objective cannot work.
I think recently Facebook is quite strict about this thing also.
Yes. Cannot work.
And personally, I don't recommend people to put a URL shortener or a full link inside advertisement because you should let the advertisement do the job. When you tap on the thing, let it go through the designated URL, not providing. Last time I like to put the URL down there. Then the data is all messy. I'm just sharing with you there's such a thing called Pixelme for information, especially for dropshipper or people who
I
drive
think
traffic to Shopee or Lazada.
I think it's good. Just that you got to be very careful because certain objectives they ban that, and instant experience they ban that. You can't do this for instant experience. Springboarding is not something Facebook is happy about. So, but anyway, I think this is good. You can actually experiment to test something if you want to. Of course, you have to test. Whatever I say may not be whatever is happening right now. Facebook changed his mind,
Our new finally came out. At the end of the show.
What just happened?
Who came out?
Our name.
The name came up.
Wow. Talk about the delete effect, man. Yeah.
Hey, we
guys,
did that.
any more questions? Any more questions?
Yeah. Out of sudden, at the very end of it, we have 24 people. We have more people coming in at the end of it. Hey, come on now, 10 o'clock next week. Set your alarm clock 10 o'clock, and we can actually chat more, ma. Just now we were so
wanted to draw PM. What do you mean? They wanted to draw PM?
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking about the micro seller. They use engagement because they want to draw PM. Correct.
Okay.
Actually, correct.
Private message.
Private message.
Private
so what are
message.
we talking about next week, man, guys?
What is the topic next week?
Now that Jason is talking about Pixelme and talking about drop shipping, let's do e-commerce, man. Let's talk about
next week. Next week is what we call the e-commerce night. Basically, we want to talk about not just e-commerce website. We talk about e-commerce marketplace. So if you're selling on Shopee, Lazada, Amazon, eBay, anything that is you're selling online, but you're not selling on your own website. Next week, we're going to share, based on our experience, how do we actually make your e-commerce marketplace store work for you? And what are the challenges that you are facing? How do we actually address those challenges? Because these are all from real experience. And Andrew will actually come in from the question. He will ask a lot of questions. And
we've got some crazy ideas as to can you actually use marketplace as a way to attract your future or potential customers into your own store?
Yes.
Charlie likes it. Are you excited about it? Are you excited?
It's actually a very good topic.
You got one
it's
more.
Actually a very good topic next week. That's Raymond. That's Raymond from Philippines.
Okay.
We're gonna do more open stuff.
Yeah. So send your questions away. Send your questions our way. Whatever things that you're actually looking to. Ken say thanks. Ken, thank you. And then Raymond is here and Charlie. Like I said, we try to make this slightly more open. We want to go beyond Facebook, to be frank. And any questions that you have regarding digital marketing, send it our way. PM me or just comment over here so that we can actually compile and we will schedule in our future, the 3MS. Not PMS. Sorry, the 3 Marketing Show. The 3MS. 3MS. Okay, the 3MS. So that's the 3 Marketing Show. So anything to add on? Yeah, Charlie say totally excited. Look forward to the next topic. Please share with your friends. Tell them that these 3 guys is doing these funny things every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. So
this is an experiment. This is an experiment for us to see how far we can take this. There's nothing to sell. We are not going to sell anything.
We don't sell anything
on this platform. Yeah, it's basically the 3 of us to do an experiment with regards to how do we do a talk show on Facebook and see how far we can go with this. So hope it's useful. Hope it's you enjoy it.
Remember, if you
previous live of dropshipping. Previous live using Q10 dropshipping also. Q10 dropshipping and dropshipping on Shopify. I tried both before.
All right.
Okay. Just question.
So
do remember to leave inside the comment.
Okay. Post your questions in the comment. Set your alarm for next Wednesday, 10 p.m. We're going to do that. And remember, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, remember to hit the subscribe or follow or like button so that you'll be notified whenever we go live.
Ding, ding, ding.
Next week. So click the bell. There's a bell on YouTube. The bell icon on YouTube. Okay, Charlie was saying she wants to talk about SEO. Talk about SEO. Okay. In the future topic, we're gonna arrange that. Thank you so much, Charlie.
My personal favorite is Ahref for SEO. Ahref. We'll talk about that
next week. I mean, when we actually talk about the SEO, then you bring this up. Okay. We have to keep that. Else you show all your card, then nothing to show already. By the way, we have another one from Ken. We don't know about SEO.
Okay. Let's
SEO
get all the questions in. Then we can group in and have a specific show on that. Why not?
Don't say seafood. We are just sharing only lah. Don't say seafood lah. Make me pressure. No?
But I think it's good. I think it's good. Basically, I'm really glad that you guys enjoy. Remember to tune in again next week. So if there's nothing more, anything else to add on, guys?
That's all.
So
this is it. We have
I'll
Andrew.
see you next week.
Yep.
Okay,
We
see you
have Andrew,
guys.
Manfred, and I'm Jason. See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you for staying with us up to now. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. See you next week.
Good night.
Bye.